Hey, Tim Leffel here, author of A Better Life for Half the Price, here with Matt Gibson. We're looking a little scruffy and sunburned because we've been hiking through the mountains of Kyrgyzstan for 6 days solid, and now we're enjoying being back in civilization. Cheers. So, Matt lives in Thailand now, but you didn't always live there. So where'd you grow up and where did you go in between?
I grew up in Canada, in Cranbrook, British Columbia. It's a small town. And I went to university at University of Victoria, also in British Columbia. After I left Canada, the first place I actually lived was Taiwan. I moved there to teach English, and I stayed for about 8 years on and off before I ended up in Thailand.
All right. And then I think you spent a little time living in Mexico even, right?
No, not. I spent a few months in Mexico at one point, and I spent about close to a year in Guatemala.
All right.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Thailand and what made you stick around?
I moved to Thailand for business, you know, because we both work in travel. I actually had been back in the States for a while, and then I came back to Asia, and I wanted to go back to Taiwan, but for work, you know, I live a few hours from Bangkok, and it's much more convenient for travel, for like, you know, traveling around the region, and also for travel businesses. There's a lot more there.
Sure. And what has it been like to, what are your expenses like there on a monthly basis? Like what do you spend for rent and just overall?
Okay, so I live in like a village, a little village about 3 hours from Bangkok, beside the ocean. As far as like being right across the street from the beach, it's pretty cheap. One of the cheapest places I think is around. I pay just over $200 a month to keep a studio apartment there. Came sort of like barely furnished, and that includes high-speed internet. So that's, you know, that's rent. Food is going to be, you know, $2 to $3 for your normal local meal, or, you know, $5, $6, $8 if you're going to go for something that's foreign.
Is there anything that's more expensive than it is at home, like things that are out of whack?
So beer, honestly, is not, like, it's pretty cheap there, but if you're from the US, I mean, if you're from Canada, it's cheaper to go to Thailand. But if you're from the US, you probably find beer cheaper at home on, like, cheap night at the bar.
So what's the visa situation like that there for people that are not retirement age? What do you have to do if you're going to live there?
Yeah, so the retirement one is really good. Anyone can retire there if they want to. If you're not retired, it's been really like tumultuous. It's changed like constantly over the past few years. People could and have lived there on tourist visas for a long time, but it's not a really stable thing. Like, you could definitely get in trouble for that. It seems like the government has been working toward, there's a lot of digital nomads there, people who work from home, and they've been working towards a visa for those people. It's not done yet, but they've announced something recently. So it's very vague, but if you can prove that you have a good skill, money in the bank, basically, they'll give you a visa to stay there, or that's what they say they're going to do. But as of now, if you wanted to live there, you would want to get a 6-month multiple entry visa, which actually you could stay up to about 9 months on if you manage your entries and exits properly. But you can only get it at the embassy of your home country if you're from a qualifying country. So you'd have to go home about at least every 9 months in order to get a new one if you wanted to do that.
Okay, and that's a long haul. Besides the heat, obviously people need to be into that, but what do people need to know as far as any negatives before they would consider moving to Thailand?
Well, like, I assume most people are American watching this. It's a very different culture when it comes to, say, free speech. Like, you talk badly about the royal family on your Facebook or something, you could go to jail. Traffic, it's, you know, it's sort of a developing country traffic situation, so it's frustrating, at least if you're driving, if not dangerous if you're out riding a motorbike. But, you know, other than that, you know, it's not very hard to adjust. There's a lot of facilities for people who speak English and don't speak the language.
Yeah, you don't speak much Thai, do you?
No, really, no. Very little. It's just kind of shameful.
All right, well, great. Well, thanks for everything. Tell everybody where they can find you on the internet and social media.
On the internet, find me at expatmat.com. There's no E on the expat, it's xpatmat.com. And all of my social media handles, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, are all expat Matt. Same as the website.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Tim.